Hello, everybody. Welcome to SES FM. No, I'm just joking. Welcome to the stream, everybody. My name is Darius, community manager at SES Software, and we are going to have another episode of developer interviews today. Which, if you are familiar with the concept, it's about talking to another developer from the company about themselves, about their work here at SES Software, and just having a chill drive in the meantime. And as you can see, we have a very special guest today. I'm not sure. Maybe you are familiar with him from our blogs, recent blogs, especially about the research. But yeah, Anton, if you can just introduce yourself with one sentence to the community, and then we'll start.
Sure. Thank you, Darius. Hi, guys. Hi, Darius. My name is Anton, and I work here at the research department, mainly in the ATS section, meaning that I work on the United States.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I just wanted to say quickly, I hope you can hear me fine, by the way. Because I'm like, you don't realize how much you are maneuvering with your head unless you have to talk into a microphone like this one. But Yolas 105 viewers rate. Thank you very much, Yolas. Thank you. I just wanted to quickly say that during the last stream, which was 2 days ago, we actually broke our record. We had 5,000 viewers in the chat, which is absolutely amazing, magnificent, and we thank you all for that. And even today, I would say that the viewership is very nice. So thank you all very much for tuning in. Thank you all for being here with us. And yeah, I guess we can start driving. We decided that we are just going to do quick jobs today, and it's just gonna be chill. It's just gonna be fun, chill drive, no problem. And yeah, hopefully you will be able to focus on driving and answering the questions in the meantime.
Yeah, sure. I hope so too.
Yeah, because that is usually the most difficult part. But yeah, sure. So
yeah, let's roll out.
Yeah, perfect. I would say that is all. And let's start with so the way we do things here, or it seems with the question, is that we start with the past, then we move to the present, and then we kind of talk about the future. So if we were to talk about your past, about your working history, about your working milestones, maybe education, what would you say about yourself?
Okay, so I studied here in Prague at the Faculty of Arts, and I actually studied English and American literature, which may sound surprising considering that I'm a game developer now, but I think it actually makes some sense for me to work on ATS because I know quite some facts and I know a bit of American literature and the history of the United States. My terrible driving. I'm not really used to driving and talking simultaneously.
It's fine.
But I enjoy both activities, so hopefully I won't be embarrassing myself too much today, just a little bit. Anyway, so I studied British and American literatures. And I've always been interested in video games, in game development, and actually I did my MA in a program called Critical and Cultural Theory, which is a kind of, it's a kind of stripped down philosophy. I hope my university teachers aren't listening to me because they probably won't like this description. But it's basically talking about culture and thinking about culture in using like basic philosophical concepts. And in my final years, I focused on video games and new media. And then I was looking for a job in game development, and I was very lucky to get accepted here and start working here at SCS.
Awesome, yeah, and would you say that apparently, it seems like at the first glance that it helped you a lot, this study?
Yeah, sure. As a researcher here, I always try to use my knowledge of American literature to think about the ways in which we can depict reality, and I always try to speak, to communicate that knowledge. And I always do examples from some of my favorite writers and poetry also. And my things that I like to do most is to describe how all these things that we see, all those models, trees, houses, etc., how by putting this into our map we can actually reflect a cultural reality that's behind. So I always like to think of this deeper connections behind what we actually see, and literature is immensely helpful in this regard, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's really interesting. And what's your I'm not sure if it was mentioned. You have finished your studies now, or you are still studying, or?
Yeah, I mean, I have, I kind of have. I still have some. It's complicated, but yeah, basically I finished my.
Okay.
I'm about to finish my MA program, and I mean there are just a couple of things I need to do, but. Basically, yes, I have finished, but I've, because I've been focusing too much on my work, so I haven't been able to. I haven't been a very frequent guest at the university, which some of the teachers don't appreciate. But I mean, if you love something, too much, like I love developing this game, then I guess.
So is working at ACS Software your first full-time job, or?
Yeah, well, yes, before that I mainly did odd jobs, this and that, a bit of teaching, a bit of translating, but I'd say that my main goal was to become a game developer. So yeah, and it's interesting that I'm a researcher here. When I first saw the description of the job and the name of the job, I was kind of surprised because I thought, oh my God, this is what I'm doing here at university, because I was basically researching things, writing essays and articles. And then I thought, wow, I can actually be helpful here because I've got skills in that department. And it turned out that yes, things I learned have been really helpful in my job here, and being able to use the literary knowledge I gained, it's just amazing, and I'm really happy to be here and to continue applying, continue talking about the things I like literature and stuff, doing it here.
Yeah, it's always cool to hear about when you can kind of combine something like knowledge like that with game development, right? Because even I don't want to turn attention to myself here, but
please do.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Hey, listen, we can go to our interview with Darius number 2. Why not? No, but you mentioned new media, right?
Yeah.
And I was actually writing my bachelor thesis at the university about video games.
Cool.
And I remember they were kind of pushing me to they were saying that it's new media stuff, even though I have no idea what it actually means. And it was so cool, to just do something since I was studying history, archaeology, and just mix the two together, right? Like video games and the knowledge from university.
Mm-hmm.
It's so awesome to see, and I would say it shows progress, because there used to be times when somebody was a gamer and it was just you're playing your video games somewhere with friends or just to have a good time.
Yeah, definitely it does. And when you learn, when you start actually studying game design and game development and start reading books about it, learning new facts, you realize that games is a medium, and it is very efficient at capturing and mediating different types of experiences, and those are experiences that cannot be so fully expressed through other more classical mediums like literature or film, right? And there's actually a philosopher who wrote a book on games, and he said that games transmit agencies. And by that he means that by playing a game you can adopt an agency and be someone else for some time, right? So I mean it's a fancy way of saying that games give you an opportunity to walk in another person's shoes, right? To pretend you're someone else. Like here I'm pretending I'm a truck driver, which
exactly.
I'm a very bad truck driver because
no, you're doing fine.
Yeah, thank you, but you know, I guess the police of the city won't think so, considering the fact that I've almost hit that car over there. Okay.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Chet has seen worse on this stream, right, Chet? Especially when I am the one driving. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, that's really awesome. That's really cool. And you said your studies are basically finished, and you started working at CS1. Is it like years, or when did you start working here?
I think I've been here for 2.5 years. I can't remember really. It's definitely more than 2 years. Well, it's easier for me to think in. Okay, sorry, Chad. Sorry about that. I was.
Hey, at least we didn't get fined for the red light.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I think I've stopped here in between the things.
Yeah, we saved it.
I was thinking of maybe going, because I've already broken the law, so maybe I should have.
I'm sure the fine for crashing was much lower than the fine for red.
Probably.
So
let's don't break another law. Let's stay here for a while, and maybe I will get the chance to remember how long I've worked here. So yeah, it's been around 2.5 years, and it's easier for me to think in terms of projects. And my first completed project is Montana. Where I kind of went through all the parts of development, all the stages of designing the DLC. And since then I've been involved in many ATS DLCs in that way or another. So I'd say that right now I have a pretty, broad comprehensive picture of what's going on in terms of ATS.
It's been a while, 2.5 years. Yes, it's probably seen many projects go, but we will get to that. We'll get to the projects probably. And we already discussed or I'm not sure if it was actually mentioned You mentioned that you applied to SES Software, but it was like very actively looking for work opportunities in gaming companies, or was this just like, hey, there's an opportunity in SES Software for researcher and I could do that?
Well, I was in my kind of final years in the university, and then I was I was looking for different. I actually went to a game development conference, and SS Software was there. Like there's a conference here in Prague that takes place annually.
Was it game developer session?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So I went there, and it was during the COVID times, so it was online. And I listened to Pavel, our CEO, talking, and I kind of, I thought that perhaps I could work here. And before that, I knew about the game. Of course, I've always kind of wanted to, because I have a personal connection to truck driving. So my grandfather, he used to work as a truck driver.
That's cool.
Yeah, and when I was a kid, he would sometimes take me along on his trips. So
So
you
you
know.
were actually driving, or you were actually sitting in a truck?
Yes, yeah, and those are some of my most cherished childhood memories, I should say. And you know, I had like during the COVID times, I had this like also period, and I was just a little bit sick and tired of everything, and I thought to myself, well, I won't be you know, it would be nice to work as a truck driver, but you know, I mean, I probably won't be able to do that. And developing a truck simulation game is a perfect alternative, and I just went this way. Yeah, I went this way, and I then I went the wrong way.
It's fine. Hey, listen, it added only I don't know 20 miles or something like that, so it should be fine. Right, Chet? I think it was only like
let's prolong our discussion a little bit.
20-30 miles. That's nothing.
My grandfather would never have done that. He was very.
Was he a good truck driver?
Yes, he was. And you know, when I was a kid, and when I played games like, you know, how shall I put it, more games where you won't pay attention to you know, to the rules of driving, and where you just, you know, go crazy and drive everywhere. He would sometimes stand behind and criticize me for driving irresponsibly. Okay, yeah.
But that's really awesome. That is really amazing piece of information. I mean, I'm not sure how many people in the company can actually say that they have a relative that was an actual truck driver. Probably not many. So it's really awesome.
One of our research colleagues, actually.
There you go.
I think, he used to be part of our department, but then he changed his position inside the company. So he actually worked as a truck driver, and we had some pretty interesting conversations about that. And he told me that he did that because of of the romantic part of it, and I totally got it, because I remember when I was a kid with driving with my grandfather in his truck. It kind of felt like sitting in a space shuttle, and and sometimes we would go on some really interesting trips where there would be beautiful scenery around us, and it was cool to explore that big world outside, but also be kind of really safe and cozy inside that truck cabin. And that's the feeling that I also got, driving around, playing ATS. And of course, he was a European truck driver, so we would go on. His truck was a European one, but as a kid I always kind of preferred the American trucks more, because they look I thought they look cooler. Now I don't think so. Now I appreciate the aesthetics of European trucks as well, but when I was a kid I had a different view.
All right. Yeah, that's really cool. And that's awesome. Very good to know. And you said you started as a researcher, so you've been a researcher for over 2 years now. As we mentioned, let's get back to that for a bit. As we mentioned, you've probably seen a lot of projects since, 2 years, over 2 years. That is a long time. And can you recall, I don't know, maybe even all of them, if you can recall all the projects that you've worked on ever since you started? What was maybe your first or your favorite?
So as I said, my first project was Montana, which I also liked a lot. I especially liked. Oh yeah. Thank you for helping me with that. I especially liked, learning all the info. And Montana is a good state for that, because it has a very, I'd say, peculiar position inside U.S. culture and U.S. cultural imagination. So it's big sky country. It's kind of famous. People go fly fishing there, and there are a lot of things you can learn about it, and I really liked learning all that stuff. And then I pretty much I did a little bit of this and that in terms of every project, and of course, like the way our department structured is that usually one state is represented by one researcher, and then we kind of help each other out when there is all the work, when there are a lot of tasks. So I've been helping out people with different tasks throughout the time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, well, I mean, Kansas is interesting, and I enjoyed working on it a lot, really. Texas, when I came, Texas had already been in development, so I did just some, I wasn't too involved, but I did some occasional tasks there, and I really appreciated it. And then after that, after Montana, I'd say that my main kind of sphere of interests has been conceptualizing about things, and prepare. So we have this thing where we prepare intro presentations for level designers, and I've been involved into that very much. I've been working on conceptual frames with these presentations, and those are exactly the things I mentioned earlier. Like, what are the ways in which this you can see it, guys. This billboard, right, is connected to the state's culture, right? Or we can't see really any houses right now, but why people live this way. Of course, I mean, you can't really easily find answers to these questions, but you can at least approach them, and you can at least dig up some cultural information about that. And it helps very much to understand the feeling of a state. And I just like to be able to describe it and communicate it to our level designers.
Yeah. I think you kind of explained, I guess, what your job consists of, mostly, which is, and you also said so. So yeah, it does feel, when you are talking about it, it does feel that it is the perfect fit for you, right? As somebody who likes to do all those things, and research, of course, in our games is extremely important, because of what you said, what you explained. And yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to see. It's awesome to hear that it's something that interests you. That really, I don't know how to really explain this. That fills you with pride. Is that the right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it makes me. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate very much the positive feedback from our level designers, from our map designers. The negative feedback, I mean, I respect it.
Sometimes.
Yeah, most of the times. I mean, the negative. There's nothing better than negative feedback, actually, because, I mean, theoretically, right? Because in theory, negative feedback allows you to move forward and to work on yourself and develop your skills and all kinds of things. And one of the things that I like about working here is actually that oftentimes you can really there's a clear line between personal interaction and professional interaction. So when I receive negative feedback, I know that I receive it from people who I respect and who respect me, and I just know that they do that because they want our workflow to be better, to be smoother, and I'm always happy to accept it.
Yeah, that's very, very well said. And I have a very good question here prepared.
Okay.
Since we kind of went through the I suppose we covered the research process a little bit, or maybe you want to
No, I mean,
expand on that one.
We have like this is my thank you for these questions. I've been able to speak about how I view the process, and I think that maybe if something pops up later, then we could just get back to it. But I'm really curious to hear your question you've prepared.
No, yeah. I was just because you kind of already covered your what you are doing as a researcher. I'm not sure if you covered like the entire process of a research, or from the scratch, like what it looks like, or if there even is such a thing, like if it's even possible to describe the research process in a couple of minutes, couple of sentences, if it's not a discussion for like 2 days, that it's so difficult, such a fragile topic, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, fragile. I mean, I can try. I can at least approach it.
Just so the viewers can get like a perfect idea of what a researcher does and how much work it takes.
Yeah, so the way I like to think about it is that we process reality by we develop conceptual frames to process reality, if I must say so, because obviously different departments working here, different specialists working here, map designers and 3D artists, they all can see for themselves, and indeed they all can see for themselves, and they can all form opinions about what they see. But our kind of yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay.
Our kind of role in that process is to organize the ways in which we perceive reality and kind of make them more effective by adding that conceptual framework to what we actually see. Because working on a state, working on a project, you can see a lot of things, a whole varieties of what can potentially be an asset, a model. And when you are overwhelmed with this much information flows, with this much information, it's really easy to get lost. And so I guess our main job, our main role, and the way I like to think about it, is that we are the ones to make an educated guess as to what we should be doing in a particular situation when we see a variety of assets, or when we see a variety of things that we can potentially depict, that we can potentially include into our game. That's part of it. But so I would say that, speaking broadly, this is what we do.
All right. Yeah, there was a question in the chat. So it's like saying what would be more important to add in the space that is available.
Yes, I guess that's an interesting way to put it. Okay, guys.
Yeah, you can play safe. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that I would just. That's an interesting way to put it. Because obviously the space what we got is limited, and we really need to be careful about what we put into the game, about what we depict, and we help to make decisions that we won't regret. That's a negative definition, right? But a positive definitions would be that we help to make decisions that we will appreciate later on when we get to work on future DLCs.
There we go. Finished one job.
Hey,
We can pick one more. I think we still
Yeah,
have enough
sure.
time. I mean, we are only halfway through the stream, pretty much. Just something similar to last one, maybe.
yeah, something
Yeah.
something easygoing, so we could concentrate on philosophy, right?
Yeah, yeah, and something I don't know, cause I was kind of looking at the road, and driving in Texas is awesome. I have to say. I'm not saying that just because it's the latest DLC, but Texas as a whole map is just amazing. And while we are searching for a suitable quick job, I guess the best thing to do now is location check, because that's I mean, we are halfway through the stream. That's always a good thing to do. Why not? So location check means the viewers. Well, you have to write where you are watching us from, because it's always very interesting to see
Yeah, please.
Norway.
What do you think about this one? I think it.
Yeah, I think that is a good one. Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Yeah. Oh no, that's too short.
I mean, even the shorter one would be okay.
Yeah, this one is also. I
No,
guess.
that's too long.
Okay.
But even the shorter one would do. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
this
okay,
would do.
let's go
I think
this.
this would do fine.
Yeah, I would appreciate choosing that option because glass racks is something I spent some time researching.
Yeah, so rather not. And yeah, a lot of different. There's Iceland. Somebody watching us from Iceland. That's amazing. Somebody from UK, South Carolina, Texas, all over the world. Yeah, no pressure.
So
No pressure.
do you remember what was the how I turn on the light here?
Yeah, but you can just
Have you?
wait. Chad, you will probably not hear me. Wait.
Yeah, you've turned on. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, thanks.
There we go. There we go. Yeah. Totally. It's not my fault that I couldn't warn you about the flash, cause the microphone, I mean, I can't just bring it over there, so too bad. You will be a bit late, we know, but it's fine. Hey, listen, we have almost $1 billion, so the client will probably survive it, and we will as well. But the last thing that we were talking about. Oh yeah, just talking about the research in general. Unless you have anything more to add to that, to the process itself, what would you say is the most challenging part of the research of your work?
Ooh. Well, that's a really good question. I guess there are like different types of challenges. One of them is when you just can't find the references, when you can't find references for the thing you're looking for, and then you have to. Sometimes you can, it's really uneven what you can do about it. But those are like some of the. This kind of challenge. It's really basic, I'd say, because there are also kind of more. How shall I put it? Deeper challenges, or like working on thinking about how a state, which depots we are going to include, and creating a kind of master plan. And we are as a department, we're involved in this process.
Mm-hmm.
We have our specialist doing that, and so things that involve planning and thinking across different DLCs, those aren't easy. And then looking for references that just seem to not to be out there. In that case, sometimes we have to employ different strategies, and sometimes it can be really challenging.
All right. There was a total. Maybe it's a little bit out of topic, but there is a very good question. I'm not sure if you are even able to answer this. There is a very good question in the chat, and it makes me wonder: is your department responsible for suggesting Easter eggs in our games, or is that done by somebody else?
That's a good question. I think that. Often, because you know how the workflow is organized in such a way that sometimes it can really be difficult to take credit for something that's done, because a lot of things are actually a result of a group decision, right? And communication is going across different departments, different people. I would say like this. So sometimes we provide other departments with suggestions, and we have our own ideas as to what can be an Easter egg, because we spend so much time in a state or in a country and learning facts about it, learning about its culture. But I would say that because the map designer is actually the person who works with this with the map really closely, and because of that, the map designer often has a very special attitude to it, which is perhaps in some ways even more special than what we have, because there's this just full-scale immersion when you spend all of your time working on this map, looking at it, and you notice every little detail, which we also do, but we have to process bigger flows of information. So I would say that we can provide a variety of Easter egg suggestions, whereas the map designer is the one who can choose something that's really neat and that's really special because of how they're connected to what they work with, because of how we are connected with the map.
All right. Yeah, I think that's a good answer. That's a good answer. Hopefully it's enough. And yeah, it was a good question. Good question.
Yes, thank you.
Actually, I've never wondered about it myself. So yeah, that's good to know.
And I think it's also speaking about it philosophically. Everything can be an Easter egg, right? I mean, not everything, True. But when you have a connection to a city or that you work with, or a village or a settlement, then there's a reason why you include, that building in it, why you decide to leave out all the other variants and stay with this particular variant. And in a way, I think the layouts of our cities, of our settlements, tell the stories of how our map designers think about what they see and the choices they make. Shall we?
That's the traffic. Unbelievable. it's unbelievable.
But I think that we didn't get the fine, did we?
We didn't. No. But it did hit the trailer.
Yeah, I mean...
It was
yeah.
Crazy traffic, yeah. That's totally not our fault. But yeah. Yeah, not sure if you wanted to add anything else to it.
No, I think we can.
Okay.
If you have any other interesting
So we
questions.
kind of made made a smooth transition from talking about the past to the present. And since we are already talking about the present, it makes me wonder, what do you like about working at SES in general? Just in general, how do you... Because I know you mentioned you heard Pavel speak at the game developer session, and you were kind of like, I would say, amazed by the presentation.
I was impressed.
So what do you like about the company in general?
Well, a lot of things. One of my favorite things is corporate culture, definitely, and the people I work with, and it's just amazing. I love my team very much. I love working with these people, and outside my team, I also love. I've got amazing colleagues in different departments as well. I feel very good about coming here, being here in the office, spending time with my colleagues. The things, the way things go here, I just love it. I don't know, it has a very good vibe, and I appreciate it a lot.
All right, yeah. Do you like going to the release parties and Christmas party and stuff like that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I mean, food is
free food.
Food is precious. Yeah.
Free food, of course.
Yeah, food and the people, of course, community.
Yeah, of course, course, the people. Yeah, of course. No, the food is just a perk, okay? It's all about the people.
Yeah, and one of my dirty secrets is that I once went to, I don't remember which DLC it was, but I went there, and I think we were supposed to, there were like some beverages and some different types of foods, and then there were special food items that you had to order in advance before the party, and you just had to confirm that yes, you would come to the party and you would receive this food that was just for you. And the reason they did it was because some people don't eat meat, and so, and I think that I accidentally ate someone else's vegan vegan hamburger, and it's my dirty secret, and I'm revealing here on stream.
No. Confession right here. So whoever was missing the burger that day, this is the perpetrator right here.
Please forgive me. I didn't do that intentionally. Before the release party, we had a very intense meeting, brainstorming, and it was really intense. We did a bit of really hard work, so when I came to the party, I just saw the food and I was like and
that's relatable. Yeah. It happens, at least there was some was left after, probably, so nothing else.
Luckily some people didn't show up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm telling to myself.
But that was a fun fact, and I don't know why I keep wondering. Like, I asked you about you working at SES and how you like it, and for whatever reason, the questions are in wrong order here, because the next question is about what you are currently working on, which I guess I should have asked before when I think about it, and because you are probably maybe working on things that should not be discussed, because you are the researcher, right? Yep. So I'm just going to ask, are you working on Kansas, Oklahoma, and West Balkans, or is it just one of them, or two, or all of them, or what is it?
Actually, it's funny because just the other day somebody asked me about, some of the traditional foods in Oklahoma, because people like to think about food early on before when they work on a project.
Mhm.
And I wasn't able to really answer that question because I've been only partially involved in Oklahoma.
Mhm.
Oh,
Was there a crash?
I guess it
Was
was.
there a crash just right in front of us?
Yeah, I guess it
Wait,
was.
what happened there?
I don't know, but
Telling you, man, it's crazy traffic today. I don't know. It's
Yeah,
probably
I
the
mean-
weather or something.
yeah, it is. It's probably because of how we've messed with the weather earlier when we turned off the lights, right? When we
Maybe.
switched.
Maybe because I'm all
Mm.
confused. Like, come on, they didn't get any sleep because they
Mm.
didn't have a night. So
Yeah, but I'm glad they were able to sort things out so quickly, and progress. Oh yeah, I remember this. I remember this juncture. I remember this building. Yeah, that's a nice place to be.
yeah, I mean, for you, if you were working on Texas, doing some research, it must be amazing to drive through.
I
the
remember my
cities.
colleagues talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I came. I joined the team when Texas was already in full swing.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't do too many things for Texas, but I remember somebody talking about this road there. So as I said, I kind of Oklahoma. I've only been partially involved, and in Kansas, I think I did more things for Kansas than for Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
But not as many things as I've done for other projects that I can't really mention.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, but in Oklahoma, in Kansas, it's interesting that we were researching some of the possibilities, the things you can say about the state that would culturally reflect it.
Mhm.
And I even I met this American person on a poetry reading in Prague when we just started working on the project, and she was from Kansas, and I asked her, hey, what do you think about Kansas? What can I how can you characterize the state? What pops up in your mind when I say Kansas? And she was like, you are not in Kansas anymore, which is a reference to the Wizard of Oz, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we did mention that in our presentation, and when we also spoke about how in Kansas you've got big winds, right? And tornadoes and all that kind of stuff, and how it can sometimes affect what you see on the road. I remember that it was nice to draw those parallels. And also, speaking about Kansas, we focused on American art. So there was a group of American artists who were called the regionalists, and they depicted, I think they, like most of their paintings were done in the 20s or in the 30s. I'm not really sure. I have to look that up. But they depicted those kind of scenes from American rural life, focusing on farms, on American nature. And sorry, I just had to make a sudden stop over there so that I didn't hit that guy.
It's nothing about
Yeah, and when we thought about Kansas, when we started looking into it, we thought that there might be a nice connection between Kansas and the regionalists, and we used some of those paintings. We showed them to our map designers, and we spoke about how the scenes from serene farming life, how the scenes of American nature depicted by the painters are really indicative of the feel you get driving through Kansas.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. At least people will know what to look out for when they will get their hands on Kansas eventually. And I think I'm not sure if you want to add anything to like work of a researcher or your responsibilities or something like that, but uh, what we have done, I think it was a couple of months ago, or maybe it was like was like half a year ago already, the blog.
Man, I do know, time flies. It might have been a year, it might have been 2 months.
Yeah, so we have at I'm gonna find it. Wait, we've done a couple of blog posts.
Oh yeah.
Under the hood research. There it is. It's from February 6th. So this was like 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. So 3 months ago we released this huge big blog post that you can find at the blog.icssoft.com, and it was completely focused on the research, on the team, on their responsibilities. It's a very long blog post, which was mainly written by Anton here. That's actually awesome, and there is a lot of, I would say, even if we forgot to mention anything today about the research, about the working at the research, it's going to be there, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for mentioning the blog, and also thank you for helping me with it. We wrote it kind of together with my other colleagues as well. Yeah, I did some of the writing because I studied literature, so I do love that. And yeah, feel free to check it out. We had a great fun writing it, working on it. So, and you can learn more about our work from there.
Yeah, and since you are here now, and we are kind of talking about you now, we have a couple of, I don't know, personal preferences, maybe questions.
Okay.
The first question is, what would you love to bring to our games next? What would you like to see in our games? Whether that is a future or something, I don't know, maybe some fun Easter egg or something cool, like a cool asset or something like that. What would you like to see?
When I just started working here, I had a lot of ideas, like just, in my second week here, I was like, oh, here we can think about that, we can work on that, we can do that. And when my team lead Raven, who's also been here in one of these streams before, he told me that the ideas that I have, the ideas that I had, like if they aren't already in the game, it means that people are either working on them already, or there's a reason why they haven't been yet included. And I guess that I'd like to see. I would like to think that this kind of situation, because obviously a lot of people have a lot of really wonderful ideas here, and the things that I wish to see in our game are already in the making. And I would say that I would like this state to pursue. I would like to see in a couple of years the same situation when people are coming with new ideas and people are working on implementing the ones they already have. I understand that this is quite an opaque answer.
No, it's fine.
But I guess I wanted to address my colleagues mainly, and say that I'm looking forward to seeing the things you guys been mentioning in the meetings and at other times as well.
Fair enough. All right, and since we are almost done with the second job, I don't think we have to pick another one, because we just have a bunch of very quick questions which require only, I don't know, one sentence as an answer. It's just rapid fire questions. And the first one you kind of already answered, because the first one is if you prefer ATS or ETS2, and you already said that you prefer ATS. So
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I said that when I was a child, I
Yeah.
preferred American tracks, and I guess that this is still very much true. If
Alright.
I've got to be completely honest with myself.
Which track is your favorite?
Yeah, I love Western Star, really.
Okay.
So yeah, because it's some of the later models, they're like really big, and it's very, it reminds me of experience I had with my when I was a kid. Yeah.
All right, fair. Which DLC is your favorite?
The one I'm working on currently. And
The one which you can't say
yeah,
which
the
one
one
it
I
is.
can't
Okay, fair. That's a good response, I would say. Do you prefer interior or exterior camera?
I prefer interior map, and I've been trying throughout today's stream. I've tried to mainly stay in the cabin because I think I just prefer it. Yeah.
All right. Hard or easy parking?
Easy. Easy parking.
That's
yeah.
a good response. That is a good response. I like that.
Thank you. Thank you.
These questions, these are my favorite questions. What is the first thing you do every morning?
Oh man. Well, as much as I'd like to say that I get up, praise the day, and look out the window and drink a cup of hot water, I must admit that I watch TikTok. No, it was a joke. I don't do that. I mean, I do that sometimes.
All right.
But I check on my phone. Yeah, it's the first thing that I do, and I actually don't think it's too good for my health.
I mean, there is this philosophy that like if you check your phone or emails the first thing in your morning, it does something to you, which to this day I don't understand what. It's just like if you stop doing it, apparently you're going to be more mentally healthy.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe there is some science behind it. I don't know. It's a general belief. So yeah, but that's what you do anyway.
Yeah,
Okay.
the first thing is that I check my phone.
All right, fair. What's your favorite food?
Is coffee a food?
I mean, the next question is favorite drinks.
Okay. So I drink a lot of coffee. I can tell you that.
Okay.
And I also like some tea. Yes, and I try to drink water as well, but I guess I drink more coffee. And my favorite food, I really like vegetables. Yeah, all kinds of vegetables. So and fruits as well. I usually eat an apple and drink some coffee because they both have caffeine. And I like to stay focused and I like to stay sharp. While at the same time, I'm not a big fan of, energy drinks and more hardcore stuff.
It's unfortunate. But
yeah.
Oh well.
A lot of people I know are fans.
Yeah. So since you are talking about fruit, vegetables, do you think pineapple belongs on pizza?
Well, it's controversial. It really is. I think. Well, I respect that. I can accept that, and I can eat it. So if I went to an ETS release party and there was a pineapple pizza, and I would I would steal a slice, pun intended. But I don't eat it too often. So I guess theoretically, I accept the existence of a pineapple pizza, but practically, I've done nothing to prove my beliefs.
This is a good political neutral response, I would say. So yeah, good one. Favorite music?
Oh, I like indie music, indie rock music. Yeah.
All right. Any band? Any particular band?
Well, I like if I can use this, if I can really talk about it. But one of my favorite bands is Arctic Monkeys, and
Hmm.
I also like one of the older bands is Led Zeppelin, and I absolutely like it a lot. And I actually myself I play in a band, and
Do you?
yeah, and we kind of, when we just started out, we kind of were focused on those two bands because our singer was a fan of and is today. He's been a fan of Arctic Monkeys, and I was really into Led Zeppelin. And
Are you the lead singer in the
no,
band?
no,
Okay,
I'm a guitar player. And the name of
that's
our
good.
band is comprised of the last names of those two musicians. One from Arctic Monkeys, Alex Turner, and another from Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page. So we're called Page Turners.
That's good. I like that.
Thank you.
That's good. Yeah. Are you somewhere on Spotify or something like
Yeah,
that?
we are all over the streaming platforms.
Cool.
So
That's awesome. So yeah, go follow, guys. Go support the band. That's amazing. Um, favorite movie.
uh, I I like old American movies like Paper Moon. I like them a lot.
Okay.
I like them also because they can be really beneficial for my work. I
Mhm.
know I think that there's got to be something where you don't have to think about your work, but accidentally, most of the things I do in my free time are somehow related to my work as well. So, Paper Moon is a great example of that, and it's a really great movie.
Okay. It's a good response. Favorite game.
You mean like today or
Favorite game of
of all
all
time?
time. Yeah.
I like old games. When I was a kid, I played this game called Red Faction.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shooter game,
Yeah, yeah.
and I like it a lot because it bears a lot of sentimental value for me. Uh, and I sometimes revisit it.
Mm-hmm. That's
But
cool.
yeah, and today I try to play different types of game just to stay updated. And I guess my attitude to games has changed a little bit because now I look at them more. How shall I put it?
From a developer point
Yeah,
of view.
from a
Yeah.
developer's perspective, yes,
Yeah.
which isn't a bad thing at all. It's just that it's changed. It's different.
Yeah, that is exactly why I can't help myself but complain in World of Warcraft every 5 minutes when I'm playing it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
There's
yeah, it's the danger of actually working on a video game and playing video games. But yeah, that was a good response. Do you prefer PlayStation, PC, or Xbox?
Oh man, that's a tricky question. But no, I mean maybe it's not. I don't know. Well, I guess it's like the pineapple pizza. It's I prefer PlayStation, but I play PC. Or
Okay. Do,
so
do you own a PC and console
yeah,
or?
I
Oh,
own
okay.
a PlayStation 4.
Mm-hmm.
I own, and I own a PC. I think PlayStation is cool, but I've been a PC player for my whole life. So, but I'm open to all platforms.
All right. And the very last rapid fire question. One thing that you like the most about SES software.
It's as I was saying before, it's the corporate culture, and but speaking about the game itself, I would say that one of the most fulfilling things is seeing how you know your remarks, your contribution to the project is then materialized and exist in the form of a game, of something you can actually drive through, see, and you know be immersed into.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very fulfilling and rewarding feeling, and I appreciate it a lot.
All right. Yeah, and that's it. That's it. we've answered all the questions. I'm gonna leave the space if anybody in the chat wants to ask anything about Anton himself, about his job as a researcher, about the research in general at ACS. If anyone, somebody is asking how many researchers are there at ACS. I don't think it has to be exact number, but
there's been more of us. More people have come recently. I guess it's around 16 or 17 maybe right now. So
Okay.
we've grown as a department, and yeah, it's about this number of people, and we are as a department we function as a single unit, but then we're divided into the ATS part and the ETS part, and yeah, which is obvious, I guess. I think I've already mentioned that.
all right, and that's pretty much the only. No, I'm sorry, guys, but I think Anton doesn't know if our games are coming to consoles or if there are or what tracks are coming and stuff like that. So, I'm sorry about that.
Well, even if I knew,
You wouldn't say.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
this is a kind of question that you can't, go about the way
yeah,
I did it with the pizza question.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
You just have to say like, yeah, well, you
Yeah,
don't know.
but I must say that I'm really, really excited about all the things that are coming up, and I'm looking forward to them, because people I work with, they've put so much effort into developing the game, and I'm just looking forward to what the future holds for us.
Mm-hmm. Fair. All right. Any last message you have to the community? Because yeah, I think this is it. I think it flew by pretty fast, I have to say. So
Yeah,
it's
and I
always the
really
case.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's always the case with these streams. It's just, as we said at the start, it's just chill driving and talking about yourself, about your work here at ACS. And if you just have any last message to the community, anything you would like to say, then go ahead. This is the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me here. I really enjoyed it, and it's been a great experience. And thank you for being here with us tonight, guys. Have a great time driving around, and drive safe. Try to not to hit as many cars as I did today.
Oh, I think it was just one.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
I think
yeah.
it was just one.
Be safe and enjoy yourselves, and take care.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a nice last message, I would say. And yeah, thank you all very much for tuning in today. It was at least from my point of view, it was a very good stream, very awesome, very informative. As we mentioned, for any more information about the research, make sure to visit our blog. The blog post was released 3 months ago, so February 6th. Look for that one. And as is always the case when we are ending the stream, we want to bring all of the viewers, to another streamer in a raid to support the other content creators that are streaming our games. And I managed to find somebody a while ago. The person's name is Wild Annie. It's not Annie from SES Software, okay? So it's somebody called Wild Annie, and they are driving in American Truck Simulator right now, and it says that they have 9.9k followers. So that means maybe if we rate them and you leave them a follow, maybe we will manage to push it to 10k. All right. So be nice, be the best community ever, as always. And yeah, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for your messages in the chat. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you to Anton, of course. Thank you to Anton for being an awesome guest. Thank you to Benny behind the production. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll we'll see you next week, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you next week, and hopefully it's gonna be awesome. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Have a great evening, everybody. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye.